Let's discuss now the halachas of measuring the actual 2,000 Amos of Techum Shabbos. We said that once somebody leaves their starting point where they began the Shabbos, they left their house, they left their halachic ear, their halachic city, they get 2,000 Amos they could walk in each direction, north, south, east, and west. And in the end, we square the whole thing off and we create a box, a grid, a box in which they're allowed to walk on Shabbos. Now, there are some things we could do to halachically allow you to extend your 2,000 Amos of Techum Shabbos. The Gemara says that if kol samidasai b'seifa bayis or b'seifa ir, one can add on to their Techum Shabbos. What does this mean? Let's say in the middle of your 2,000 Amos, there's a house. And that house happens to be 20 Amos long. The halach is that those 20 Amos of that house are chashuva kadal Amos, are all considered like 4 Amos. And instead of it counting as 20 Amos, it only counts as 4 Amos. So now you just gained yourself another 16 Amos at the other end. You could walk 16 Amos further because you had a 20 Amma house within your 2,000. The halachically only counts as 4. Okay, what if somebody else is living in the same city, also going eastwards, but they start off not at the same point of the city. They start off, let's say, 100 feet further north, and they do not bump into this house along the way. Do they also get the extra extension of 16 Amos, or do we say they get exactly 2,000 Amos? Which would then come out very interesting, because we said that we box off the 2,000 Amos north, east, south, and west on all sides. But if you say that only the person who passes the house or goes through the house gets the extra addition of a few extra Amos because he went through a house or passed by a house, but other people who go out from the same side don't, so then the 2,000 Amos will not all be straight at the other end. It's going to be jagged and bumpy. This is actually machlokes achronim, how to do this measurement. The accepted psak, based on the Chazon Ish and others, is that we square it off at the end, and everybody benefits from the fact that at one point you pass by a bais, you pass by your ear. Not only that, it gets much bigger in the middle of your 2,000 Amos. Let's say 300 Amos out of your city that begins at ear, a halachic city that extends for 1,600 Amos. It ends 1,900 Amos after you left your ear, after you left your halachic city. So you have a 1,600 Amos city, a big city in the middle of your 2,000 Amos of Techum Shabbos. The halach is that it's kol samidasa b'seifa ir, since this entire ear, this entire halachic city is all swallowed up within your 2,000 Amos of Techum Shabbos. The whole ear is chashuva k'dalad. The whole city is considered like 4 Amos. And instead of counting as 1,600 Amos, it counts as 4 Amos. That means that when you get to the end of your 2,000 Amos for Techum Shabbos, you can still walk an additional 1,596 Amos further, because the whole 1,600 Amos city is considered like 4 Amos. Now notice that we carefully picked the case where the city starts in your Techum Shabbos, out of your city, out of the karfif, out of the extension of your city, but it ends before you get to 2,000 Amos. Because we keep discussing the halach of kol samidasai b'seifa ir. However, if it's kol samidasai b'emtza ir, let's say your 2,000 Amos for Techum Shabbos end in the middle of a halachic city, so then the halach is that you can only walk until your 2,000 Amma marker and cannot walk any further. If this city would have been smaller and would have been completely swallowed up and absorbed in your 2,000 Amos, then it would be chashuva kadal, that we consider like dalad Amos, like 4 Amos. And that's all to count for. However, since the city is a larger city and extends beyond your 2,000 Amos of Techum Shabbos, we cannot swallow it up and consider it like 4 Amos, and rather, we have to go with wherever your 2,000 Amos end, even though it ends smack in the middle of a city. We discussed the halacha that if you have a keshes or chava, you have a city that's shaped like a rainbow or like a ches, and between the two Roshei HaKeshes, between the two ends of the rainbow, is more than 4,000 Amos, more than 7,080 feet. The halach is that it's nirek shtei ayars, it's viewed as 2 separate cities, and therefore there's no ribua given to the inside of the keshes, to this empty halal, to this empty area inside. However, sometimes there are some things we could use which are halachically kosher that allow us to cut down on the 4,000 Amos, and then we could see the 2 Roshei HaKeshes as related, as connected to each other. The reason why the cutoff is 4,000 Amos, that if there's a space of 4,000 plus Amos between the 2 Roshei HaKeshes, it's considered like 2 cities, is because if somebody would start walking from one end of the keshes and somebody else would start walking from the other end of the keshes, they would not be able to meet in the middle, because each one only gets 2,000 Amos. So sometimes there are certain things that we could use halachically to allow them to walk more than 2,000 Amos. And then we have Havlas Tchumen, the Tchumen of those 2 people overlap. And then the whole keshes could be viewed as one. For example, there's a halacha that if somebody starts walking out of their city into their 2,000 Amos, and there are batim, there are houses that are swallowed up, absorbed within those 2,000 amas, or there are ayaras, small halachic cities that are all contained within the 2,000 amas of their Techum Shabbos, the entire bayis, the entire house, or the entire ear, the entire halachic city is considered like 4 amas. If you have a house that's in the middle of your 2,000 amas of Techum Shabbos, that's 20 amas long, so now it is not considered like you walked 20 amas, rather it's considered like you only walked 4 amas, and therefore you gain another 16 amas at the other end. So a very common case would be that the two Rosh HaKeshes, the two ends of the rainbow, are, let's say, 7,500 feet away from each other. Now we said the cutoff is 7,080 feet. However, if each person walking from their end would encounter some batim, some houses, or some ayara, some halachic cities, which would cut down, because each bayis or each ear would only be considered like 4 amas, would only be considered like about 7 feet, so then we can work it out that these two people will meet each other. And since they can meet in the middle, so now it's no longer considered a keshes or chava. It's no longer considered a wide rainbow, a wide ches. And rather, the whole thing is closed up, and we view ki'ilu mali batim b'chatzeres, like the Gemara says in Daf Nun Hey. It's considered like it's all filled up. It has the whole inside, which actually has very few houses in it, can be considered like a ribua, like a squaring off of a city, or maybe even stronger. We view it like it's filled up with houses and courtyards.